Would you believe I'm on the road again? Which means I'm getting work done ahead of time, and that's where my HB90 planner and my Kanban board come into play and are my lifesaver. Hi, I'm Angela Drake. I'm an indie published romance author, and today we are closing out the month of June as well as Q2 to see how I did in the first half. Now, I will say I did not use my Kanban board as much during the first couple of months of Q2 as I would have liked. My basically became a to-do list, but in the last couple of weeks, as I've needed to prepare for an on-road trip and making sure I had stuff done ahead of time, this has really helped tremendously, and I really buckled down and used it. And I have found when I work the system works for me. So let's talk about what we need to do. This is the wrap-up of June. It says, what am I most proud of this week? That I got stuff done ahead of time. And this is going to be odd for me to write and still keep it in frame, so bear with me. I got stuff done ahead of time for the first week in July. Because while I'm leaving the end of June, I won't be home until the 30th. And I usually spend my first full day at home with Bob, which means I would not be getting anything recorded and uploaded until the 2nd, which means some things are behind in my creative side as well as my author side. What challenges did I face? Let's talk about cracked ribs. I went to a conference, the Between the Pages conference in Springfield, Missouri, and the day after I got home, I managed to wedge the edge of my washing machine between ribs 3 and 4, previously injured ribs, and so I have not been able to do a whole lot for 2 weeks. I'm still not bending over or lifting stuff. Now, the first 2 times I did this, Bob was gone, and I had to do everything. This time, with him retired, he's been home, and he has seen firsthand what I've dealt with when I've had these cracked ribs. So he has been a lot of help, and I've done a lot of sitting or reclining or sleeping the last 2 weeks. What will I do next week to make a great week? That's easy. Stay on top of what I've already done. I spent all of, this is Wednesday. I spent all of Monday getting everything done, and it's hard to write and talk, getting everything done that I needed to have done before I left for my trip on Thursday, which would have been the 26th. So I had to get all of that stuff done and out of the way, so I was ready for this. And so I spent probably 12 hours batching blog content, and that's the key. If you've got something that's going to be very similar, take time out to block and batch all of those. So like I batched all of my blog content for the author blog, for my Monday inspirational quotes, and for the Friday photos. I went in to check and see what I had that I needed for the first part of July for conference and contest links, for Thursday posts, and then set up which books I knew I was going to be reading for the Wednesday review, which gave me my author spotlights for Tuesday. So I was able to get all of those done up ahead of time, and at least with the only thing I have left is to read the books and do the blog posts for the authors. So that was it. So am I on target to hit my 90-day goals? With everything that was going on, I really didn't have a 90-day goal, but that's going to change in Q3. So I'm just going to put an X through there, and we'll come back to that. What do I need to do to either catch up or continue to succeed? Focus my time. Now, one thing that did change in Q2, and I'm very thankful for, is I've re-teamed up with author Annie Bancroft, and we have been sprinting almost daily. My life's been kind of crazy, so I've not sprinted the last couple of weeks as much as I'd like, but we've also been doing a lot of networking and what we need to get done as we approach new book launches. So that's been great. What deadlines do I have coming up? I need to get book 2 done. That's it. And I'm taking part in the Fast Draft Challenge with Sarra over at HeartBreathings. And I have mapped out on my Kanban board, I have stickies for each of the scenes that I need to complete in July. So that's my main deadline, is to get that book done. I had thought about entering competitions for OCW, for the Ozark Creative Writers. Those are due late August. But I think my focus really has to be on an Ozark's Homecoming. So that's what we're going to work on. How was my overall mood this week? Pretty good, considering I've gone from severe pain the first few days to tolerating to sore. And now we're heading into the just tender phase. I don't get down a lot, and I don't get this all touchy-feely kind of thing that just, I just can't get past things. I've spent most of my life getting past anything that might have been traumatic in my life, and I don't let it deal. I don't deal with it anymore. It's done. It's in the past. Let it go. Play Frozen and play Elsa and let it go. And so that's what I do. So my mood is pretty good most of the time. What can I do to continue to be happy and successful? Time with Bob. Writing. And career focus. Okay, and additional thoughts. And I've kind of covered that. You just really need to, it's okay. You'll get there. Okay, now my monthly review. This is for the month of June. What did you accomplish this month? Make a list of all the major projects you completed and list any reward you plan to give yourself. Way to go. Well, I give myself a daily or a weekly reward I take one me day. That is my day to get out of the office. I may do some work in my planner out of the office, but I go sit in my favorite coffee shop. I drink coffee. I watch videos. That's my weekly reward. That's my brain recharge time. So what did I accomplish this month? I got a few things put away in the office. I'm still in the decluttering the chaos phase of this office. And I've got things down to a manageable size to where I can take this for 15 minutes and work on it. Take this project for an hour and work on it. So I'm just going to put down that I got a few things out of the way. And I got a great vision for Q2, especially for July. Okay, what task didn't get done that you had hoped to have finished? I really wanted to have my work table cleared off. I've gotten some things done. I finally was able to move, my printer, which has to be plugged into my laptop to work. I got it moved and made room for the Bluetooth printer that Bob got me for Christmas. Finally, this is going into July, and I finally have room to set up my Bluetooth printer. So I got the work table done. So let's move that printer. Move printers. Now the Bluetooth one isn't set up yet, but it's where it needs to go. That's a big thing. The work table is my biggest project that I did not get done that I wanted to do. And a lot of that was due to the ribs. Now, are you on track to finish all your projects by the end of the quarter? Not even close. But that's okay, because I know that my ribs and my health had to come first. So that's okay. That, and I have 2 conferences this month. I had the Between the Pages conference in Springfield on location last 2 weeks ago. And now I have the and then I've got the AuthorTube Writers Conference here on YouTube, and that is the 27th. Yeah, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So by the time you're seeing this video, that will have been over with. And in 2 weeks, I have the RSJ Diversity Conference online for romance authors. So I have that coming up. And if you want more information on that, there's still time to register. You will find that in tomorrow, Thursday's blog post. And that will be linked in the description box below. Still plenty of time to register. And my link on my blog is an affiliate link, and I'd appreciate it if you would use it. Thank you. Are there any time sinks, distractions, or bad habits that are holding you back? And what can you do to eliminate some of that moving forward? Well, there really wasn't anything. No, Tabby, stay down. Stay down. I'm going to have a cat join us here in a minute, and she's going to send things tumbling. Come here. Come here. Let Mama put you out. Then I don't have to worry about you tearing stuff up. Here. Yep, there. There you go. No, you're not coming across here. I'm sorry about this. She is my girl. And she's a pain in the behind most of the time. No, you're going out. You're going out. Thank you. That was on me. Distractions, cat. And I should have shut the door before I started this video. So are time sinks, distractions, or bad habits? I really don't have any bad habits that keep me from doing my job. My only real distraction is my husband, and it's important that we spend time together every day. So I'm not even going to list that as a distraction because it's not something I'm willing to eliminate. Challenges that you face in terms of time, emotions, and motivation. List 3 things you can do to support yourself next month. Take my me time. Give myself grace. Because life is going to interrupt. And things just are not always going to go according to plan. And reevaluate when necessary. Now, the other thing I'm trying to do is I want to start being in here a couple of times a month, planner-wise, so you can see how things are going. What are you most proud of from this past month? I'm going to have to say that getting those printers moved, because like I said, I've got the one for Christmas, and it still isn't hooked up, but at least now it's where it belongs. It's the little things that are going to make a big difference in the long run, and that's one of them. Okay, next we have my quarterly review. What did you accomplish this quarter? Make a list of all the major projects you completed. How will you reward yourself for getting so much done this quarter? You did an amazing job. Well, I'm taking time off for a road trip, which I am back from. I really didn't want to make this trip right now because my ribs are not completely healed. But I have a dear friend who lives in Colorado, and she's in Illinois visiting family, and she was only going to be there till the end of June. So I'm trying not to be negative, but she's older, and we've not seen each other in 14 years. And when she reached out and asked if I was going to be in Illinois this month, I really felt like there was something in the background that I needed to pay attention to, so I made the trip, and I'm really glad that I did. I knew that I would regret it later if I didn't make this trip. So when I made the trip, I packed everything lightly, so I wasn't lifting a lot of weight. I put it into the car to the point so that I'm not bending over to lift stuff out. I even went so far as to get a mobility accessible hotel room so that things were a little bit more adjusted for me so that I didn't have to bend over. So that has helped tremendously. But what did I accomplish this quarter? I got back into my book. I got back into my story. I took, when I went to the Between the Pages conference, I took a couple of days on either side of the conference to just work on my book in the hotel room, no distractions. And I'm so glad I did, because it makes me feel like I could finally get to the end of this process. So I was really glad that I did that. And my reward was taking those extra days in the hotel room to do that, as opposed to coming home and trying to stay in the flow with all the distractions. If in any way you can afford to get away for even 24 hours, if you really make yourself focus on that 24 hours and not, want to take a nap because it's all nice and quiet as soon as you hit the hotel room, which is possible, treat yourself to even just a night out, a night over, to go in and hide and just focus for 12 hours. And you'll be amazed at the difference that it can make. You may be too tired to work on it again once you get back home and get back into everything, but at least you will have found a starting point. So there was that. What tasks didn't get done that you had hoped to have completed? Well, I had hoped to have the book done. Had hoped to have the book drafted, and I have a lot of it drafted because I don't write chronologically. I'm a quilter. I work on this quilt block, and then I work on this quilt block, and then I piece them together where they need to go. So I had hoped to have that completely finished, but I didn't get that done, and I had hoped to have the work table cleared off. Once the work table is cleared off and I can begin to working on stuff on the sofa, then because the sofa is full of all my journal kits, and I want to get those out of the way. So I'm making progress. Has your vision for your ideal life changed over the quarter? No, it hasn't. My overall goal, says I learned to write, my overall goal is to just publish my books, be creative in my other endeavors, and have quality time with Bob. Because tomorrow is not given. And he doesn't see it, but I see where he is starting to, his mobility changes from now and then, and it can change in a heartbeat. Are there any time sinks or distractions you need to be aware of as you plan your next quarter? Not really time sinks. I have my day pretty much drafted out where I do creative stuff in the morning and I do my writing stuff at night, because I know that my higher word count comes in the evening after about 4 o'clock. So I'm really good there. I'm not one for time sinks. What could you improve for next quarter? Why, and what is your plan for making this happen? I need to use my game board strategy for the larger projects. And if you don't know what the game board strategy is, I will link that. I've got it on my creative channel, but it is a course through Sarra and her HeartBreathings. So I want to use this game board strategy for the large projects. Because moving myself around a game board with the individual steps really makes a difference in me focusing on that project. And it's not stuff related to writing, it's the other overall stuff in my office in general. And what are you most proud of from the past 3 months? What worked best for you this quarter? Make note of any new habits. I think we pretty much covered that. I'm most proud of getting some of the things reorganized in this office so that I could work. Okay. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time I've really sat down and gone through this review. And I wanted to do it with you, and I want to make it a habit to do this so that I'm always being aware of where I'm at. What percentage of your tasks and projects did you complete? Did you hit the outcome goals you set for yourself? I don't set percentages. I may try that for Q3, but I don't do that here. Did you feel that your goals and projects this quarter moved you closer to your ideal life? Yes. I've gotten some organization in the chaos in the office, and I've gotten back into my story. How can I set even better goals for next quarter? Fast draft challenge and the work table. I'll love it when I can come in here and do this review and the work table will not be on the list. Did your goals or projects make you feel overwhelmed throughout the quarter, or did you feel empowered? I just felt really good about what I did because it helped me see where I need to go. Helped me see my path forward. And if you've not taken that course, it's a really good course, especially if you're a gamer. I'm not a gamer per se, but I like games, board games, card games, dice games, and that was really a big thing for me. I really made use of it more than I thought I would. In what ways did you support yourself and your mental health this quarter? I always take my me days. Extra hotel days. And I don't feel guilty when I take myself out to dinner. Now, mind you, with Bob retired, those funds are slimmer, but they're important to me. And one of the ways I make sure that I have this is, number one, I save my change all year long. And by the end of the year, I probably have close to $300 in change. That's my money. The same with I do the $5 savings challenge, which means when I do any shopping, I do not use a debit card ever. I always use cash. And when I get a $5 bill back in change, it goes into my box. And by the end of the year, I count it up on New Year's Eve. Bob and I usually do it together. Count it up on New Year's Eve, and between January 1st and New Year's Eve, I save between $1,500 and $2,000 just in fives that I can use for my treat days. What habits can you cultivate in the upcoming quarter to bring ever more success to your 90-day plan? Well, let's do the batching. Batching needs to be a key thing. Sticking to my schedule. And I'll flip to that here in a minute. Sticking to my schedule. Let's see if I can get to it without disrupting everything. I have it in here. Things don't always move on the rings the way I'd like them to. And I'm not seeing it. Of course I'm not. I will bring that up in another video when I can have it handy. But I have a schedule that I work with. Are there any other important notes you want to make about how you did this quarter? No, I think I'm good. I have it in my brain. I don't need it written down. And so that's going to do us as we go into Q3. I have, in my planner, I have all of the monthly calendars, month on 2 pages from the HB90 printed out, and they are behind their monthly tabs. Now, when I get back, probably today or tomorrow as you're watching this, I will go through. I have all my pages printed. I just need to pull all of Q2 out, and I will do that before I leave for my trip tomorrow. And then when I get back, I will put in the daily pages and all of the review pages for Q3 into the planner for July, August, and September. But I also have, if I need to make notes, I have a place to put notes and the monthly calendars behind the entire year, so I can make those notations of things coming up. So that's going to do it today. I hope you have found this review helpful. I hope that it gave you some things to think about. And I will see you. I'm not sure when I'm coming back. I'll have to look at my schedule. But I will be back. In the meantime, please remember to check the description box below. My blog link is down there. I have motivational quotes on Mondays. I have Spotlight Authors on Tuesdays. I review that author's book on Wednesday. If there are any contests or conferences coming up, those are linked on Thursday. And then I have a photo inspiration on Friday. Now, if you are a romance author, I prefer Hallmark-style sweet romances, and you would like to be featured on my blog, please use the email address down below in the description box to email me and say Spotlight Author in the subject, and I will contact you and we will set that up. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. All my best.